Dragnet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you're about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to juvenile detail. You get a report that a teenage boy has been found in a downtown alley. He's in critical condition. Your job? Check it out.
It was Wednesday, November 16th. It was cool in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of juvenile detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Powers. My name's Friday. We're on our way into the office, and it was 9:17 p.m. when we got to the second floor of Georgia Street Juvenile, the squad room.
I don't know, Joe.
What?
You see a kid like that, you start wondering.
Yeah.
15 years old, trying to hold up a liquor store. Kind of worries the guy.
What do you mean?
What about your own kids? How are they going to turn out?
Well, most of them turn out okay.
Yeah, can't help worrying, though.
Well, you're a father.
Maybe you're better off, Joe, not having the worries.
You really believe that?
Well, I guess so.
Well, why don't you stop trying to marry me off?
Oh, say, that reminds me.
Yeah.
You know the Phillips, live down the street from us?
I don't think I do.
They were over for dinner the same night you were.
Yeah.
Last summer, time Faye made fried chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Remember it?
I remember the chicken. Go ahead.
You're going to spend Christmas with us, aren't you?
Christmas.
Faye told me to be sure and remind you. It's only a month or so off.
That's soon, huh?
Yeah. Can we count on you?
Yeah, if we're not working.
Swell. I'll let Faye know.
What's this got to do with the Phillips?
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's got nothing to do with them, Joe. Why are you so darn suspicious?
Which one of them has the sister?
Huh?
Come on, Mr. and Mrs., which one?
Both of them, for all I know.
Well, which one has a sister who's coming out here for the holidays? Which one?
Mrs. Phillips.
And they're all going to be at your place for Christmas dinner, is that it?
Well, Faye hasn't asked them yet. She wanted to be sure that you...
Mm-hmm.
Okay to ask them?
They're your friends.
You won't regret it, Joe. You know Mrs. Phillips is darn nice looking. Good talker to her. For sisters, anything like
Just
she
do
is.
me one big favor, will you?
What's that?
Christmas is still 5 weeks away. Don't start selling me now.
I wouldn't try to sell you on any girl. You know that.
You bet.
I never even met this one. I was just thinking that sometimes you can kind of sort of judge a person by family and...
Juvenile Friday. Where's that? I see. Yeah. Found a kid lying in an alley off Sheridan Street. He's hurt pretty bad.
An accident?
Knife in his back. Frank and I drove out to the address where the victim had been found. It was a dark alley that opened onto Sheridan Street in the block between 5th and 6th. An ambulance had been called, and the boy had already been moved to Georgia Street Receiving Hospital. 9:42 p.m. We talked to one of the patrol car officers who had discovered the body.
We're only a couple blocks away. We headed right over.
Where'd you find him?
Yeah, I'll show you. Right here against that wall.
Mm-hmm.
Must have lost a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Knife still in him?
Mm-hmm. Small of the back. Looked like he'd been beat up, too.
You say anything about who did it?
Well, he mumbled something. We couldn't understand him, and then he passed out.
How old would you say he was?
Oh, 15, 16, maybe.
Uh-huh.
He's a good-looking kid, about 5'8", black hair, blue eyes, regular features.
What kind of clothes?
Had jeans and a jacket, windbreaker type.
See anybody around who might have done it?
No, not a soul. The street was deserted.
Mm-hmm.
My partner's out looking now. I'll give him a hand.
All right.
Who filed a complaint?
I don't know.
Well, we'll check the board.
I'm afraid that won't help. Well, they don't know either.
While a patrol car officer searched the neighborhood for suspects, Frank and I canvassed the area for the person who had reported the crime. 10:16 p.m. We talked to the patrons in a nearby bar and grill. They denied having any knowledge of the assault. 10:42 p.m. We entered a small tobacco shop on the corner of Sheridan and 8th.
Evening, gents.
How are you, sir?
I do, sir.
Hi. What can I do for you?
We're police officers. It's Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
Sam Crest here.
Mr. Crest,
Something troubling you fellas?
I'd like to talk to you for a minute, that's all.
Done anything I shouldn't?
No, sir, not as far as we know.
Well, you never can tell, you know. The way they keep making up new laws nowadays, a person can be a criminal without even half trying.
Mm-hmm.
Too many rules. That's what's wrong with this country. Too darn many rules.
Yes, sir.
Ought to be just one.
How's that?
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Golden rule. That ought to be more than sufficient.
Yeah.
Don't work out that way, though. Man could live up to it every day of his life and still wouldn't keep him out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
Golden rule don't say nothing about paying income taxes or taking out licenses or filing Social Security reports. Well, does it?
No, doesn't seem to.
But you're in jail if you don't do them.
Yeah,
Man can live by the golden rule, don't make no difference.
it makes a difference.
Oh, some maybe, but not enough.
Have you been here all evening, Mr. Crest?
Since supper time,
When was that?
6:30, eat at the drugstore over on Soto Street. Stop serving food at 7.
I see, sir.
What time did you get back to the store, do you remember?
Oh, 5 odd, maybe.
And you've been here ever since?
Sure. You ain't doubt my word.
No, sir?
I tell the truth, you know.
Yes, sir.
I may not get all my government forms figured out right, but I'm a truthful man.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody suspicious come in here tonight?
Suspicious?
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid you'll have to explain that. You see, I ain't no policeman. Folks don't look suspicious to me. They just look like folks.
Well, any strangers then?
Sure, lots of strangers. 8 or 10, maybe.
I see.
Strangers to me, leastways. I don't get acquainted with folks easy.
Uh-huh.
Man comes, buys a pack of cigarettes or some tobacco. Don't make him a friend.
Uh-huh.
Well, now, sir, had most of tonight's customers been in before?
Oh, some of them had, yeah. Some of them hadn't. I don't keep track.
I see.
Did you hear anything out on the street?
Traffic. Folks walking by. You fellas sure ain't very specific.
Well, anything like a fight
Front of my place?
in the neighborhood?
Well, I didn't hear no fight. Somebody get to mixing it up?
Looks that way.
Oh, yeah, that's the trouble with this world. People always squabbling. Wherever you go, whatever you do, it ends up in squabbling.
Mm.
Who was it?
We don't know yet.
Anybody hurt?
Yes, sir.
Well, probably brung it on himself.
Maybe.
Were there any youngsters hanging around your place tonight, Mr. Crest?
Youngsters?
Teenagers?
Well, if there was, I didn't notice them. Kids, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, I just don't know what we're coming to.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sure. All right.
Good night, sir.
There was one.
How's that?
One young fella. He didn't hang around, though. He was in a big rush.
You know him?
No, I don't think I ever saw him before.
Could you describe him for us?
Oh, just an ordinary kid.
How big was he?
Oh, not big. He come up to about here on me.
Mm-hmm.
Probably don't have his full growth yet.
Oh, I see. You recall how he was dressed?
Well, I didn't pay much attention, only in the shop a couple of minutes.
What color was his hair?
Light, reddish, or blondish.
Nice-looking boy?
Oh, no better or worse than most.
What time did you see him?
Must be nearly a couple of hours ago, along about 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Come charging in all out of breath.
Yeah.
Asked if I had a phone. I pointed out the booth over there in the corner.
Go ahead.
Well, there's nothing more to tell. He run over the booth, made a call. Wasn't on the phone more than a few seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Then he come out and left the shop.
Anything else you can tell us about him?
I don't think so, no. Except that when he was leaving,
Yeah.
he wasn't in a hurry like when he come in. He sort of peered out the door first.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed as though all the steam had gone out of it. He looked back over his shoulder.
Yes, sir.
Doggonest expression on his face.
What do you mean?
Like he was scared to death.
While we're in the tobacco shop, we telephoned Georgia Street Receiving Hospital and talked to Dr. Sebastian. He told us that the victim was in a critical condition and had been moved to General Hospital. He also told us that they'd not been able to identify the boy. We called General and asked to be notified when he was able to talk. 11:31 p.m., Frank and I went back to the office. Homicide was notified. The patrol car officers who discovered the body reported that they had not found any suspects in the vicinity of the crime. 11:46 p.m., we checked with the crime lab. An examination of the weapon had revealed no useful fingerprints. It was a spring blade knife with an 8-inch blade. 12:02 a.m., Frank and I went off duty, and another team of detectives continued the investigation. The next morning, Thursday, November 17th, 8:12 a.m.
Morning, Joe.
Hi.
Anything new?
No, not so far.
How about missing persons?
Nobody's reported them.
It's funny. You'd think somebody'd be looking for him by now, his folks or somebody.
Yeah, you would.
Any coffee and that thing?
Yeah, help yourself.
All right.
Probably cold by now.
Better than nothing.
Did you miss breakfast?
Yeah, I wasn't hungry.
Oh.
Oh, you're right.
Huh?
It's cold.
Yeah.
Say, Joe,
Mm-hmm.
about Christmas?
What about it?
Well, we won't invite Mrs. Phillips' sister if you don't want us to.
Mm-hmm.
No. I got to thinking last night people shouldn't force a guy to get married and raise a family if it's against his best judgment.
Well, who's getting married and raising a family? It's just a Christmas dinner, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know Faye.
Well, you know me. I got it. Juvenile Friday. Yes, sir. All right, sir. Thank you very much. General Hospital, the boy's coming, too.
Yeah? We talk to him?
Yeah, for a minute or two. We better get a move on.
Oh?
Doc said to hurry. Frank and I drove out to General Hospital. The doctor in charge of the case was waiting for us in the hall outside the patient's room.
Mr. Friday,
Yes, sir. Is it all right to go in?
don't stay too long.
All right.
You going to be all right, Doc?
It's too soon to tell. If the wound was an inch higher, I could give you an answer.
Yeah?
It'd be dead.
We went on into the room. The shades were drawn and the victim was in semi-darkness. His eyes were open, but he closed them as soon as he saw us enter.
How you feeling, son? Son?
I'm okay.
I'd like to talk to you for a couple of minutes.
No way of stopping you, is there?
What's your name, son?
What's yours?
Smith, Frank Smith. My partner's Joe Friday.
Cops?
That's right. Well,
Well, what?
how about telling us who you are?
I forgot.
Well,
You know, amnesia.
yeah.
How'd you get hurt, kid?
Forgot that, too.
We're trying to help you, son.
Not my fault if I don't remember nothing.
You know you're pretty sick,
Sure.
but it's not amnesia.
You a doc?
No.
And you tell what's wrong with me.
Who knifed you?
Now, what happened?
Come on, what's your name?
Abraham Lincoln. You guys can call me Abe.
All right, we'll find out.
Go ahead.
What were you doing on Sheridan Street last night?
That where I was?
You want him to get away with it?
Who?
The fellow that stuck a shiv in your back?
Now, who'd do a thing like that?
That's what we want you to tell us.
Hey, you know what?
Hmm?
It's all starting to come back to me.
Tell us about it.
There was this black sedan, see?
Mm-hmm.
Great big job.
Yeah,
I was walking along the street, sedan pulled up beside me, 12 guys jumped out.
yeah.
Told you it was a big job.
Mm-hmm.
6 of them tried to grab me.
All right, that's enough.
But you want to know what happened? They was all wearing masks.
I said that's enough.
Sure.
Now, you listen to me, son. We're going to find out who you are and who stabbed you.
Sorry I ain't in a position to offer a reward.
You want your face in all the newspapers?
What for? I ain't important.
I said we're going to find out who you are. Well,
Okay. You want to play detective?
let's have it.
Tom.
Tom what?
Marcotte.
Where do you live?
Diamond Street.
What number?
Apartment house, corner of Diamond Olympic. Second floor in the back.
Now, suppose you tell us what happened last night.
Guy jumped me, that's all I know.
Who was he?
I don't know. I never saw him before.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
What did he look like?
I don't know. It was dark.
Somebody your own age?
Heck no.
How old was he?
30, 35.
Why'd he pick you?
I don't know. Must have thought I had some dough.
You never saw him before.
That's what I said.
How tall was he?
I don't know.
Did you get a look at his face?
Uh-uh.
Can you tell us anything about him?
Nope.
But you know how old he was.
I got a feeling, that's all.
Yeah.
Where do you go to school?
Taylor High,
What year?
10th.
Any gangs in your school?
I don't know.
You don't belong to one, do you?
Nope.
You had any kind of trouble lately?
What kind of trouble?
With the other kids at the school?
Can't you guys get anything straight? I wasn't a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you live with, Martha?
My old man.
Where's your mother?
Under a tombstone.
We'll get in touch with your dad.
What for?
He might be worried about you.
Want to bet.
We were unable to get any additional information from the victim. We went back to the office and checked the name Tom Marcotte through R&I. They had nothing on him. 9:47 a.m. Frank and I drove out to the address he'd given us. It was a 2-story stucco apartment house, badly in need of repair. We went up to the second floor.
Must be this one. Yeah. I don't hear anybody.
Take it easy, will you? All right. What's all the pounding for?
Marcotte?
Yeah?
We're police officers. Frank Smith, my name's Friday.
Well, what do you want?
Come in for a minute?
If you don't, I'm going to fall flat on my face. Oh, boy. My head's coming apart in shreds.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of tied one on last night.
That's so.
Haven't got an aspirin, have you?
No, sir.
Right not.
Can of beer?
No.
No.
That's what I really need. Usually keep a couple in the refrigerator for an emergency like this.
Mm-hmm.
But that kid of mine's been guzzling them again.
We'd like to talk to you about your son, Mr. Market.
Yeah?
You know he didn't come home last night.
Didn't he?
Nope.
No way of me knowing it. I work nights, drive a hack, don't get home before 5. He leaves for school before I wake up.
I see.
What'd you pick him up for?
He's not under arrest.
Huh?
He's in the hospital.
Hospital?
That's right. He was stabbed last night.
Huh?
Yeah.
He's gonna be all right, ain't he?
They don't know yet.
Oh.
We thought you might be able to help us.
Help you?
Yeah, find out who did it.
You know who your son's friends are.
I don't know nothing about him. We don't... Well, we aren't very close.
I see.
Has he been worried lately about anything? Upset?
No more than usual.
How's he doing in school?
Lousy.
Oh.
They always ask me to come down and talk to him. Principal, his teachers.
What do they say about him?
I don't go.
Mm-hmm.
I went a couple of times when he first came to live with me. Didn't do any good.
That's so.
I can't change him. Anything I tell Tom just rubs him the wrong way. So he's on his own.
How long has your son lived with you?
3 years.
How about before that?
He was with his mom.
Yeah.
She divorced me a couple of years after he was born. Took him with her.
Mm-hmm.
When she died, there was nobody else to look after him. He had to come back to me.
Yeah.
I gotta get me a glass of water. It'll only take a second.
Yeah.
Looks like the kid was right, huh?
What?
About his father.
Maybe.
He doesn't seem very upset.
No.
Just gotta stop his drinking.
Yeah.
Never used to feel like this when I was younger.
Is that right?
Could go on a bat for 2-3 days, come out of it and feel okay. Can't take it anymore.
Well, sir, we'll be leaving. If you'd like to see your son, he's at General Hospital.
Tom asked to see me?
He's pretty sick, Market.
You talked to him, didn't you?
That's right.
He asked to see me?
No, he didn't.
Didn't think so. I guess I can't blame him for hating me. He figures I didn't want him after his ma died. Figured I had to take him.
Yeah.
Tried to tell him different. He didn't believe me. We just can't talk, Tom and me.
Mm-hmm.
Father and son living in the same apartment. Like we speak a different language. Think I ought to go down and see him?
Well, that's up to you.
Being asked for me. It's funny. Live with somebody who hates you, your own son.
Well, maybe you're wrong about him.
Yeah, I see it in his face, his eyes, the way he talks. Every time I look at him, I can see it. Tom's the one who's wrong.
Yeah.
It's not his fault, but he's wrong. You wouldn't believe it on a stack of Bibles. Even you guys don't.
What's that?
But I love him.
Frank and I drove out to the Taylor High School on Grand Avenue. 10:57 a.m. We interviewed the principal, James Wingor. He told us that Tom Market was a poor student and that he was difficult to manage. He also told us that the boy had a good mind and was capable of much better work than he performed. He was unable to throw any light on the knifing and suggested that we talk with the victim's homeroom teacher, Miss Nora Rollins. 11:16 a.m. We interviewed Miss Rollins in a small room which adjoined the principal's office.
I'm supposed to be giving an English examination during this period, Sergeant.
Yes, ma'am. This will only take a couple minutes.
You have a student named Tom Marcotte.
Certainly, he's in my homeroom.
What kind of a boy is he?
Noisy, lazy, impossible to discipline. Similar to a number of the others.
Mm-hmm.
He's absent today, though.
Yes, ma'am, we know.
Has something happened to Tom?
He's had an accident.
An accident or a fight?
Why do you say that?
Wouldn't be the first time.
Has he had any fights lately?
Came to school with a cut lip 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Does Tom have any particular enemies?
I really don't know. There are over 75 students in my homeroom. It's a little difficult to know very much about any of them.
Yes, ma'am.
How about friends? Who's he pal around with, do you know?
Nobody in particular, as far as I can tell. No, wait a minute. There's one boy.
Ma'am?
Arthur Jollett.
What does he look like?
Well, he's small, red-haired, almost as troublesome as Tom.
Is he in school today?
I believe so.
Well, ma'am, is there anything else you can tell us about Tom?
No, except that I don't have much hope for him.
How's that?
Well, I've asked his father to come in and see me several times. So far, he's always declined the invitation.
Yeah.
Is Tom badly hurt?
Yes, ma'am. Pretty bad.
What was it?
Knife wound.
No. 17 years ago, when I first started teaching, that would have shocked me.
I see.
Was a very naive young lady, Sergeant.
Is that right?
I thought all a person had to do to become a teacher was to take the right courses, get a degree, and a credential.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed such a simple matter. I wanted to teach English literature, so I studied English literature. Shakespeare, Chaucer, Browning, Keats, Shelley.
Yes, ma'am.
As I continue in the profession, I discovered that I omitted one essential course.
What's that?
Judo.
We asked Mr. Wingor if we could interview the student named Arthur Jollett. He asked his secretary to have the boy sent in to us.
Sounds like he's the one who called in the report.
Yeah.
Must have been with Marcotte when it happened, huh?
Come in.
You want to see me?
That's right. Come in, son.
You're Arthur Jollett, huh?
Ain't that who you asked for?
Sit down, son. We're police officers. This is Smith. My name's Friday.
You have a friend named Tom Marcotte?
I know him.
Pretty good friend of yours, is he?
He's a friend.
You been with him lately?
When?
Yesterday, day before?
Sure.
Where?
Here. We've got some of the same subjects.
How about after school?
Uh-huh.
You saw him after school, did you?
Night before last.
Last night, too?
Uh-uh.
Where were you last night?
Movie.
Well, who'd you go with?
Went alone.
What movie?
Double bill in Hollywood.
What'd you do afterwards?
Hitched a ride home.
Spend any time around Sheridan Street?
Where's that?
You want us to show you?
Huh?
Come on, we'll take you over there.
What for?
I'd like to have you meet a man who runs a tobacco shop in that part of town.
You kidding or something?
Young fella came into his place last night.
So?
The way he described him, it could be you.
He must be blind or something.
Well, let's find out. Come on.
Come on.
Okay, so maybe I was in his neck of the woods. What's the beef?
Your friend Marcotte was around there, too, wasn't
Coincidence.
he? Yeah.
What's the matter with Tom, anyhow?
Why?
He ain't been in school today.
He's in the hospital.
Oh.
It's a good thing you called us when you did. He might be dead by now.
Who says I called you?
Man who runs the tobacco shop?
How the heck could he tell that... Well, I mean, who I was calling.
All right, Jollop. Give us the whole story now, will you?
What story?
Come on, let's get it over with.
If it's about Tom, ask him.
We're asking you. You want us to take you in?
Of course not.
It's up to you.
Ain't much to tell. We're just walking around, Tom and me.
Yeah.
Fellow jumped out from an alley, came at us with a knife.
Go ahead.
Took a swing at Tom. I ducked off.
Yeah.
Called the cops. That's all I know.
Who was it, Jollop?
Your guess is as good as mine.
We don't think so.
Suit yourself.
I thought Tom was a friend of yours.
He is.
Well, we want to know who stabbed him.
What do you expect me to do? Dream up a name?
How big was he?
Medium size.
How old?
19, 20.
Tom says he was about 35.
Tom ought to know. He's a lot closer to him.
All right. Let's go down to the Juvenile Bureau.
Before I told you everything I know.
Want to show you some mug shots.
Forget it. I wouldn't recognize his picture.
Let's give it a try anyway.
I'll take it easy, will you?
What's the matter?
I don't want to be seen leaving with you guys.
Is that right?
Wouldn't do my reputation any good.
Who are you afraid of?
I ain't afraid.
The guy who knifed your buddy? Is that who you're afraid of?
Look, if Tom wanted you to know, he'd have told you, wouldn't he? Tom ain't dead.
All right, come on, Jollop. Let's go.
Give me an answer. Is Tom okay or not?
Does that make any difference to you?
Sure, it makes a difference.
It doesn't look like it to us.
I'm no squealer.
All right, you've had your chance. Now you got to go in. Come on.
You can't arrest me.
A boy was stabbed last night. You saw it. As far as we know, you're the only other person who was there. Now you figure it out.
I didn't have nothing to do with it. Tom will tell you so. You throw me in jail, my own man will kill me.
Well, that's tough.
I ain't going to take the rap.
It's up to you.
Okay. Okay, it was Jerry.
Jerry who?
Longren.
You go to the school?
Yeah.
What was it all about?
Tom tried to date Jerry's girl. Jerry heard about her, followed us last night.
I'll get a hold of Longman.
All right.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
If Jerry finds out I squealed on him, he'll do even worse to me. He ain't going to find out, is he?
We won't tell him.
If it tumbles, you can start sending flowers. Jerry's the big man around school.
Yeah.
We're 6 foot, lots of muscle, lots of shove.
Well, that doesn't make him a big man, does it?
Huh?
He needs a knife.
The story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On December 2nd, a hearing was held in Juvenile Department, Superior Court, State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. Petitions were filed on both the victim and the subject. The victim, Thomas Marcotte, was placed under 24-hour supervision in a foster home. The subject, Jerome Longren, due to a previous juvenile record and the viciousness of the attack, was sentenced to a juvenile correctional establishment.
You have just heard Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action, and starring Jack Webb, a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned a robbery detail. A gunman has robbed a bank in your city. From his method of operation, you know he's dangerous. Your job? Get him.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Wednesday, May 4th. It was warm in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of robbery detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Chief of Detectives Thad Brown. My name's Friday. It was 12:36 p.m. when I got the call, and it took me 8 minutes to get back to the city hall. Robbery squad room.
That you, Joe?
Yeah.
Back here.
What's up?
Oh, bank job and slugging we got a rule on.
Where?
Corner Melrose and Fountain.
Anybody else on it?
Yeah, J.J. and Murph went out.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Friday, Smith?
Yeah, Lieutenant.
You two going to cover the bank holdup?
Yeah, we're just leaving.
Donahoe called in. He's out with J.J. and Murph.
Uh-huh.
They got it covered out there. Skipper wants you to tag Georgia Street and talk to the guard. See if you can get any information out of him.
All right.
Okay. What's the name?
I haven't got it. There's a uniformed man with him. Old guy's in pretty bad shape.
Yeah.
When the thief left the bank, the guard tried to stop him. Old man pulled a gun, misfired, pistol whipped the old guard.
Mm-hmm.
He's in critical condition. We just got word that you can talk to him if you get right over there. Better make it fast.
All right.
And good luck.
Yeah.
We got to come up with an identification. We got to get it in a hurry. The guy's still running. Matter of time before somebody gets in his way.
Yeah.
We can't count on it next time.
Hmm?
The gun jamming.
12:47 p.m. Frank and I left the city hall and drove over to Georgia Street Receiving Hospital. It took us 5.5 minutes traveling code 3. We went up to the third floor and met the officer who'd been with the guard.
You fellas from Central?
Yeah, Friday and Smith.
Want to see the victims?
You missed him.
What do you mean?
He died 5 minutes ago.
We checked with the doctor in attendance and found that the victim had said nothing to aid in identifying the suspect. We returned to the office. A local broadcast on an APB had been gotten out on the man carrying his description. A crew from the crime lab had gone over the premises of the bank without gaining any new information. The clerks and tellers had been brought to the city hall to check the mug books. Everything possible was being done to apprehend the bank guard's killer, but without being able to identify him, the job was almost impossible. At 2:48 p.m., we got a call from Captain Donahoe.
That's right, Skipper. Mm-hmm. No, they're in the mug room now. No, not yet. Well, wait a minute. Joe, you want to toss me that pad there?
Yeah, sure.
Here you go, Skipper. Yeah? Mm-hmm. I see. I got it. No, we'll check right away. Yeah, as soon as we find out. Yes, sir. All right, goodbye.
What do you got?
I checked around the neighborhood, found a newsboy, saw the suspect leave the bank.
Yeah.
Kid got the license number.
An immediate check was made with the Department of Motor Vehicles and with our vehicle records. It took us 2 minutes to get the information. Yeah, we figured it'd turn out that way. Yeah, you want to give me the address? All right. Okay, we'll run it out.
How about it?
Car was stolen a week ago. A team of men went out to talk to the owner of the automobile. Additional broadcasts were gotten out on the stolen car carrying the license number, the make, and model description. In the event the car was found abandoned, it was to be staked out, and we were to be notified. Roadblocks were set up in the area adjacent to the bank, and all vehicles were checked. Captain Donahoe came in from the scene, and a meeting was held between him and Chief of Detectives Thad Brown. At the time, 25 officers from Robbery Division were trying to find a lead to identify the thief. We knew what he looked like, what kind of car he was driving. We knew what kind of gun he had and how much money he'd stolen, but we didn't know who he was or where to find him. The night dragged on. At 1:26 a.m., we got our first break in the case.
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm one of the bank tellers.
Yes,
The officer who was with us went out to bring in some coffee.
I see.
He said if we found anything, to come in here.
Yes, that's right.
Well, we have. All of us agree. We're real sure.
What is it?
The hold-up man. We found his picture.
The suspect was identified as Thomas Bud Carey, WMA, 26 years. According to his package, he'd been arrested the first time when he was 16. He'd served a total of 5.5 years in state institutions. We checked with Fred Galloway of the Adult Authority and found that there was an outstanding warrant on Carey for parole violation. Additional broadcasts were gotten out carrying his name and description. Officers in the field were notified of the latest developments. While other teams of men covered Carey's known hangouts and friends, Frank and I left the office and drove out to see his mother. She lived in a run-down apartment house on the east side of town. The building was dark when we got there.
Yeah, here it is, number 5. Watch that.
Yeah, they ought to put a light in here. This ought to be it.
Yeah.
Think an easy carry might be here. Open up. Police officers, we want to talk to you.
Nothing for the cops. Get out of here and leave me alone.
Come on, Miss Carey, open up.
I ain't Miss Carey no more. Now go away.
We can do it two ways. You can talk to us here, or we can go downtown.
What's it about?
Your son.
On in. Where's he going?
We want to check.
For what? There ain't nothing here. One lousy room. That's it.
We can see.
It's the kitchen. Better take a look at the stove. Might be something there.
That place is clean, Joe.
Not true either. Now, what do you want?
Have you seen your son?
He in trouble again?
We'd like to talk to him.
What's he done now?
You know where he is?
No.
You know where we can find him?
I haven't seen him for a couple of months. Might as well be dead.
Well, he isn't.
Ain't any difference to me, one way or the other.
You know where he lives?
It ain't here.
That's no kind of an answer.
Question don't fit either. Look, I'll tell you. I'm his mother. Long time ago, I gave him to the world. I've had trouble ever since. Gallagher again. I'll sleep with the radio on.
Lady, you got any idea where we can find your son?
No.
You got any close friends?
Maybe. If he has, I don't know.
How about girls?
What about him?
Has your son got one?
Last time I saw him, he had a couple. Both of them married. Same as always. He couldn't do anything the easy way. It wasn't a problem. He'd make one.
Is there any place he'd go if he was in trouble?
What kind?
Ma'am?
What kind of trouble? What's he done this time?
It'd be better if we talked to him about it.
Yeah, always that way. Talk to him. Don't do any good. I tried for a lot of years. Didn't do no good. You know why?
What's that?
You know why it don't do no good?
Go ahead.
Because he don't listen. You can stand right in front of him and scream the top of your head right off, and he don't hear you.
Is that right?
When he was little, first time I caught him stealing, I talked. All day and all night for a week I talked. He stood there and looked at me. When it was over, you know what he did? You know?
No, ma'am.
He did it again. Every time he turned around, he stole something. I tried it all. Beatings, yelling, all of it. I tried it all. His father walked out when Bud was 6 and left us by ourselves. I did everything I could to bring him up right. Read the book. Saw the minister. Even had the relief people talk to him. He just didn't listen.
Yeah.
That time when he was 16, when they first picked him up, I thought that might do it. You know, being in jail, judge in the court. Oh, I prayed it'd work and it'd change.
Yeah.
It didn't. A couple of days later, he was right back.
You tell his probation officers about it?
Bud was 5'10" when he was 16, weighed 170 pounds. If I'd opened my mouth, he'd have hit me.
Pretty hard thing to say, isn't it?
Oh, it's harder to live with. All the time, all the tears. I'm tired of crying. I'm tired of working. I'm tired of being alive. I used to pray for him. Ask God to make him come out of it. Be a good man. I prayed and I prayed. And I figured I was praying for the wrong thing. So I changed.
Yeah.
I know him. I know how he thinks and what he'll do. He's mean. In the soles of his feet, he's mean.
Mm-hmm.
I still pray. Maybe you're the one to do it.
What's that?
Kill him.
Frank and I arranged for a stakeout on the building, then we drove back to City Hall. Captain Donahoe and Chief Brown were directing the search from the robbery office. The morning papers had carried the story, and we were receiving calls from citizens who'd seen Carey. From the report, it was believed he'd gotten out of the blockade area, and he was heading for the San Fernando Valley. Roadblocks were thrown up on streets leading off the freeway, and additional men were called in from the Valley Division to aid us in the search. 7:42 a.m. It had been 19 hours since Carey had held up the bank. In that time, the entire facilities of the police department had been devoted to his capture. Lieutenant Dave Terry from the sheriff's office had joined Captain Donahoe and was coordinating their activities with ours. 7:45 a.m. Frank got back with some hot coffee.
Anything new?
No, got a report Carey was seen at the Vineland cutoff.
Check out.
Don't know yet.
I got some coffee for you, George.
Oh, thanks.
Anything happen?
Yeah, we got him pinned down.
Where?
Valley.
A lot of ground.
Well, we just got a call. Carey pulled into a gas station in Riverside. Attendant recognized him. Tried to stall. Carey got wise and started to leave.
Yeah.
Pulled a gun and shot the man up pretty bad.
Kill him?
No, they got him in Valley Emergency.
What about Carey?
Still loose.
Toner?
Yes, Oscar.
Friday, Smith.
Hi.
Hi, Skip. We got him.
Where?
Broke into a house on Woodman. A couple of motorcycle officers got him pinned down.
Well, let's go.
Joe.
Yeah.
Tag the business office. Check out everything in the racks.
All right.
Go with him, Frank. We'll need gas shells and masks. Barricade and penetration. Better take a box of double aughts for the shotguns and plenty of 45s.
Right. You be there?
Leaving now.
I'll go with Joe and Frank.
Okay.
Let's go.
It's getting rougher.
Yeah. Wonder about the house he's picked.
What do you mean?
Who's in it? What kind of place it is?
Doesn't make a lot of difference. We still got the same job.
Huh?
We got to get him out. We left the city hall and drove out to the valley, code 3. By the time we'd gotten there, several other officers from Central Robbery and the Valley Division were on the scene. We talked with Sergeant Pat Murphy of our office.
What do you know about the place?
6 rooms. Here, let me lay out for you. Got a pencil?
I got a pen here.
Oh, thanks. All right, now, the house is built in the shape of a U.
Mm-hmm.
The living room runs along the front, and the dining room here on the corner.
Here?
Yeah. Now, the kitchen is here, and there's a back door.
Any cover there?
Officers have found him while watching it.
Yeah.
There's a closet here off a service porch.
Go on.
On the other side, there's a bedroom here, door, the bath, and another bedroom.
Just the 2 doors.
Yeah, the front and the one off the kitchen.
Where'd you get this layout?
I talked to the woman next door. She's a friend of the family, owns the place, been inside a lot.
Where are they?
With the family?
Yeah.
We're not sure. Neighbor says she thinks they're all out, and the man goes to work at 6. Woman usually drives the kid to school about 7:30.
Who put out the call?
Motor officers. They saw the car parked at the curb, went to check it out. Curry was inside. He made the house.
They try to get him out yet?
No, they weren't sure he was alone.
How'd you do?
Well, we got here right after they did. That time we got to curb, he started to shoot.
Any chance of getting to him from the back of the house?
Oh, it'd be rough. The shades are all pulled down. Hard to tell where he is. If we go in, he could be sitting under the window waiting for us.
How about the phone?
We tried, and he won't answer it.
Is that all of it?
Much as we got. Well, what do you want to do?
I'll give him a chance to walk out. It'll be his choice.
Talk to him?
Yeah. Give him a chance to open the door.
Well, it's going to be hard. We haven't been able to get near the place.
Well, big things to make sure he's alone.
As far as we've been able to tell he is, there's no movement inside, no noise. Trying to round up the family now.
Can't wait for that. Let's get on it.
I'll try to talk to him.
You can't make it, Joe. He's in a box and he knows it.
Well, maybe that'll bring him out.
You want to do it? Go ahead.
All right.
He makes a move. Get out. Fast.
I won't need that.
We'll give you coverage.
All right. Last time you heard from him, he was in the living room. Is that right?
Yeah. There's 3 windows on the left there.
Okay.
Easy, Joe.
Carrie? Carrie? Carrie. Come on, Carrie. You can't sit in there forever. Play it smart. Walk outside and it'll be all right. Don't cause any more trouble now. How about it? Carrie? You're making it rougher on yourself. Come on out, Carrie. You can't win. You know that. Go! Get out of there! I don't have to tell you, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Clock ran out before you started.
Carrie isn't going to walk.
No.
Well, he called it.
Yep.
Get the gas guns.
The
The people living across the street and on each side of the house were asked to leave their homes in the event there would be any more shooting. The riot guns were brought from the car, and they were loaded with penetration gas shells. Because of the physical layout of the house, it was decided to shoot into the rear of the building and try to drive the suspect toward the front of the place. Officer Murphy, along with Lieutenant Stoner, went back to the alley that ran along the rear of the property. The two uniformed men covered the sides of the house, and Frank and I took up our stations in front of the building. 9:14 a.m.
How's the time?
Well, they ought to be in position. You all set on that gun?
Yeah. You think he'll give up?
I don't know. Flip a coin.
Ought to be laying it in now pretty quick.
There it goes.
The way the house is divided, he could close the doors to the back rooms and keep us going for a while.
We still have an idea where he is in the house.
Yeah. I'm sure pouring it in.
Yeah.
That's lousy stuff. Tear gas. Lousy. Still remember it from the academy.
Frank. Front window. See it?
No. Where?
Shade was pulled back. I think I saw something.
Was Carrie?
Get the Stoner. Tell him to hold the gun.
Yeah.
There's a woman in there with him. Because of the possibility that there might be another person in the house, all shooting into the building was stopped. An immediate effort was made to identify the other person. The owner of the place, Virgil Bush, was contacted. He told us that he and his wife had left the house at about the same time. She'd taken their son to a neighborhood school, and then he thought that she'd returned to the house. A check was made at the school, and the youngster was found to be present. From all indications, Mrs. Bush was in the house with Carrie and was being held a hostage. 10:56 a.m., we met with Captain Donahoe and Lieutenant Stoner.
Any chance you were wrong, Joe?
No, I don't think so. Right after the guns went off, I thought I saw the woman at the front window. Looked like she was trying to get out.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do now, Skipper?
Not much left. That woman's got to get out of there before we can go in after Carrie.
Best way to do that's go in after her.
Yeah.
What about using triple chasers?
Might work.
If we go in the back way, we can drive Carrie toward the living room.
Yeah, but what if he takes the woman with him?
Keep him busy enough, and he won't.
Figures she's given him plenty of trouble by this time. It'll be rough for him to drag her along.
Then it might work.
Who's going in?
Frank and I can do it.
You can give us a cover.
Where are you going to make it?
Which rooms did you hit, Stoner?
Back bedroom and the kitchen.
That covers both sides of the house, then.
Yeah.
The gas holding?
As far as we can tell, it's still there.
Well, it might be better then to go into the bedroom. Drive Carrie into the living room. Hope we can pick up the woman on the way.
All right. You got the masks?
I'll get him. Want to give me a hand, Frank?
Yeah.
We'll give you all the cover we can, Joe.
Good.
We can't shoot into the house, but we'll make Carrie think we are.
All right.
Once you got the woman, bring her out.
All right.
If Carrie goes into the living room, don't try to go after him. Let him sit for a while. We'll take care of the rest of it later.
Okay.
Here you go, Joe.
All right.
Here are the triple chasers. 6 of them ought to do, huh?
Yeah.
I'll take the sawed off. You should be able to handle him with that.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell either one of you to take it easy.
No.
We want that woman, but we want her alive. Anything comes up that gets in the way, pull out. Don't wait to ask questions.
Right.
All right, get on it.
Let's go, Frank.
Right.
Joe.
Yeah.
Carrie's rough. He's playing for keeps. You know he'll kill you if he gets a chance.
Well, that makes it easy.
Hmm?
We won't give him one. Frank and I went around to the back of the house and put on the gas masks. He loaded the shotgun and flipped off the safety. I checked the triple chasers. They're about the size of a beer can, and they're built like a hand grenade. 2 seconds after the pin is pulled and the lever is released, the shell explodes into 3 parts. Each of them throws out a large quantity of tear gas. By using them, an officer can completely fill an area with gas almost immediately. A few minutes after we were in position, the covering gun fire started.
Oh, that's it. Let's go.
Yeah.
You going to toss one in the bedroom?
Better. Make sure it's clear.
Okay.
I'll watch it.
Go ahead. I'll cover you.
Right. All right, come on.
All right. That's clean.
Yeah, let's get the next room. It's the bathroom, isn't it?
Should be.
Well, if you get the door, I'll toss the shell.
Right.
Wait a minute.
You got the pin?
Wait a minute. Ah, go ahead. Give it a second.
Okay.
Let's go.
It's empty.
Yeah. Bedroom next?
Uh-huh.
Hold it. Okay. Now, let's go. It's Carrie. He's in the living room.
You better get him.
Wait a minute. Huh? On the bed, it's the woman. Come on, we better get her out of here.
Right. You naked?
I think so. Get that window, will you?
Yeah. Wait till I get the shade. I'll go first, and I'll take her on the outside.
All right.
Hold it right there, Terry.
It's us, Murph. Friday and Smith, give us a hand. We got the woman.
Here, let me help.
Okay, Joe. All right, you got her? Yeah. All right.
Come on, let's get her out here.
Wait till I get this mask off, will you?
Okay, Joe.
Wait a minute. Yeah. How's the woman?
Well, she seems to be all right. Want to give me a hand getting this tape off?
Yeah.
Thank God you made it. I thought he was going to kill me. Every minute I thought he was going to kill me.
You're all right now, Miss Bush. Take it easy.
He's crazy. That man's crazy. If you hadn't got it, he'd have killed me, sure. I know.
All right, Miss Bush. Let's get out of here. Come on.
You got her, huh?
Yeah, Skipper.
You all right, ma'am?
Yes, it isn't his fault, though. I've never seen anybody like that before.
All right, Mrs. Bush. You want to take her to the car, Murphy?
Sure. Just a minute, ma'am.
What?
Can you tell us how many guns Carrie's got?
What?
How many guns did you see?
What difference does it make?
Makes a lot of difference to us.
I don't know. He's got a pistol.
Yeah, we saw that. Anything else?
Yeah, he's got a rifle, too, a shotgun, I think.
Did you see it?
He brought it into the house.
Where is it?
What do you mean?
What part of the house is it in, do you know?
The front room, I guess. That's where it was the last time I saw it.
Has he got any shells for it?
Yeah, a lot of them. Got his pockets full.
All right, that's all. Thank you.
You going to get him now?
We're going to try.
You'll have to shoot him.
Ma'am?
He told me so himself. Said you wouldn't take him alive.
Uh-huh.
Told me if you tried, he'd take a couple of you with him.
Well, it isn't going to change things.
Hmm?
He's still going. Ms. Bush was taken to one of the neighborhood houses, and we got ready to take the suspect into custody. The house was completely surrounded. All of the doors and windows were covered. Each man was instructed to shoot to kill in the event Carrie tried to escape or made any effort to fire into the crowd. In a last attempt to get him out of the house without additional bloodshed, the bullhorn was brought from the car, and we tried to talk to him.
Here you are, Joe.
All right.
Tell him this is the last time around, Joe. We're through playing games.
All right. Carrie? Carrie, give it up. Throw those guns out and you follow them. All right, we'll tell you where you stand. There are a lot of us out here. We've all got orders to kill you if you try anything. You think you can sit in there and we can't touch you? You got it wrong. We'll blow the roof off if we have to.
Tell him he's got 10 seconds, Joe.
All right.
Count them all for him.
All right.
Stand by with gas guns.
Yes.
Go ahead, Joe.
Terry, you're running out of time. We'll give you 10 seconds to come out of there. It's the last time. Throw the guns out and come out after them. 10 seconds, Carrie. That's all you got. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. That's all you got. Time's up.
All right, throw him in. Cover that front porch. Here's the machine gun, Joe.
I got it.
Must have good lungs.
Yeah.
Toss some more in.
Got to come out pretty quick.
Yeah.
There he is.
Got that shotgun. He's down.
Yeah.
Easy now.
Carrie. Carrie?
Not moving.
All right, cover me.
Yeah. How about it?
It's all right. He must have been dead when he hit the floor.
Yeah, we were lucky.
I don't know.
What?
We had to kill him.
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On Monday, May 9th, an inquest was held in the coroner's office in and for the county of Los Angeles, state of California. The coroner's jury found that the death of Thomas Herbert Carey was caused by gunshot wounds resulting from an attempt to resist arrest. The officers were absolved from blame.
Dragnet. The story of your police force in action is a presentation of the United States Armed Forces.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to burglary detail. An elderly woman reports that a man has stolen $300 from her apartment. She says she saw him. Your job? Check it out.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Thursday, May 19th. It was sunny in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of burglary detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Bernard. My name's Friday. We were on our way out from the office, and it was 3:47 p.m. when we got to a small apartment house on the corner of Olympic and 6th. The Topeka Arms.
What's that lady's name again, Joe?
Dunbetter, Martha Dunbetter.
Let's see. Yeah. Here's her mailbox, number 8.
Must be upstairs.
Well, how do you figure that?
Only 8 mail slots means 8 apartments.
Yeah?
Stands to reason number 8 will be on the second floor, don't it?
Oh, well, Hey, Joe, wonder who comes from Kansas.
What?
Well, didn't you notice the plaque out in front? Topeka Arms.
Yeah.
That's a city in Kansas. Topeka, Kansas.
Yeah, sure.
Somebody must have come from there, the owner or the builder. Why else would they give the place a name like that?
I don't know.
Well, stands to reason, doesn't it?
I guess so.
Well, you see, you're not the only one who can do it.
Do what?
Deduce.
Oh.
That's what they call it, the way you figured out number 8's second floor. Deduction.
Yeah.
I was just giving you an example. When I proved that somebody connected with the building probably lived in Kansas, didn't
Yeah.
Right down there. 8, just like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Deduction never failed, Joe.
There?
Police officers.
Oh, well, just a second. I'm coming. My goodness, it's 7 o'clock back. Oh, well, dear me, you aren't the same ones, are you?
No, ma'am. This is Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
Well, there were 2 other policemen here just a little while ago. Shame you didn't know. You saved yourself a trip.
That's all right, ma'am. We knew they'd be here.
They're patrol car officers. They were in the neighborhood, so they answered your call.
Well,
All right if we come in?
Oh, my, yes. Please do.
You're Mrs. Martha Dunbetter, is that right?
No, not exactly.
Oh?
It's Miss Dunbetter. I'm still single.
I see.
Well, ma'am, would you mind telling us just what happened this afternoon?
Oh, no, I don't mind at all. It's still quite clear.
All right, would you go ahead?
What does that mean?
I should go ahead about this afternoon.
Oh, well, it's okay. Fixed myself some lunch. And then I rid up the dishes. Must have been about 1 o'clock by the time I finished.
All right.
Afterwards, I put on my hat and I went down to the library. It's only a couple of blocks from here, the Grover Cleveland branch.
Mm-hmm.
I took back my books and checked out 2 fresh ones.
All right. What happened next?
When I come home, and there he was.
What's that?
I come home, and there he was.
Who?
Well, that awful man.
Well, just where was he?
Here, in my apartment.
No, I mean which room?
Over there, the bedroom.
I see.
As soon as I come in, I heard him. At least I heard somebody moving around. First, I thought it was Mrs. Parker's manager. I know she sneaks into my apartment and noses around. Well, she says she doesn't, but I know better.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I said to myself, I got her red-handed this time. So I marched into the bedroom all ready to give her a piece of my mind.
Well?
I was never so flabbergasted in my whole life. He was standing in front of the dresser, going through my pocketbook.
I see.
My black bag and leather. It's the one he was holding.
Mm-hmm.
Well, ma'am, how much money was in the bag?
Well, I'm not positive. Not to the penny. About $300.
In cash?
Yes, sir. You see, I've been saving dimes for the past 15 years.
You mean this $300 was in dimes?
Oh, goodness gracious, no. What I do is go through my change every night and put all the dimes in my dime bank. Then when it's full, I take it down to a real bank and change the coins into bills. A dime bank holds $25.
I see.
Oh, you'd be surprised how much a person can save that way. It mounts up.
Yes, ma'am. Do you know the denominations of the bills?
I guess they was mostly tens. Maybe one or two bigger ones.
Mm-hmm. What did this man do next, Miss Dunbetter?
Well, he found money. My $300. Stuffed it into his pocket. Then he just strolled out of the apartment big as life. I was too dumbfounded to do anything about it.
I see.
I heard him tramp down the stairs, and then I heard the front door slam. When I was sure he was out of the building, I managed to get my wits together and I dialed Central.
Central?
The operator. And she put me in touch with the police station.
Had you ever seen this man before, Miss Dunbetter?
No, I'm sure I never did.
Could you tell us what he looked like?
Well, he's a tall man.
How tall?
Big as you, I'd say.
What color hair, please?
Dark. Very dark.
Eyes.
Dark eyes, too. Dark complected. Like he'd spent a lot of time outdoors.
How was he dressed?
A shirt and pants and jacket. Light-colored jacket. I think it was green.
Did you notice any scars?
Yes. Come to think of it, I did. Across his forehead. Thin little zigzag.
About how old would you say he was?
Oh, he's young. 35, maybe 40.
You know if anybody else saw him? The other tenants?
Well, I haven't talked to him. Haven't left the apartment since it happened.
You live alone here, do you?
Oh, man, no. My sister Bessie stays with me.
Where is she this afternoon?
She went out of town for a few days. Visit her grandson and his family. They came down from Oxnard to get her this morning.
I see.
Tomorrow's her birthday. She'll be 80. Expect they're going to have quite a celebration.
Yes, ma'am.
You're all carrying on. You'd think it was such an accomplishment.
Well, it is pretty ripe old age, ma'am.
I don't see what's so ripe about it. After all, I'm nearly 79 myself. Oh, I know I don't look it. Everybody thinks there's at least 10 years between us. And Bessie is failing.
Yes, ma'am. Just a couple more questions, Miss Dunbetter.
Certainly, young man, certainly.
What time was it when you got home from the library?
2:45. Maybe a few minutes after. No later than 3, though.
I see. How'd this fellow get into the apartment? Was the door locked?
Well, I thought it was. I always try to remember to lock it whenever I go out, but sometimes I do forget. Well, I guess I did today.
You think he'd recognize the burglar if you saw him again?
I most assuredly would.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing the matter with my eyesight.
Oh, that's fine. We'd like to take you down to the office with us and show you some pictures.
Oh?
Just to see if you can identify him.
Well, I couldn't go like this. I'll have to change my dress first. Well, I'm all right for walking around in the neighborhood, but not for going downtown.
Well, that's up to you, ma'am.
I'll say Miss Dunbetter while I think of it. Who came from Kansas?
Oh, I'm afraid I don't understand.
Well, the name of this apartment, you see, is the Topeka Arms, so I figured somebody connected with it must have come from Kansas.
Oh.
You don't know who it was, do you?
Now, let me think. Oh, yes, I remember. That was old Mr. Hendrickson's idea.
Well, you don't say.
Yes, he was the man who built this building. Well, now, that was, goodness sakes, that was almost 35 years ago. My, how time flies.
Yes, ma'am. How you like that, Joe? This Mr. Hendrickson came from Kansas.
No. Minnesota. Minneapolis, as I recollect.
Oh?
But it was his idea just the same, calling it Topeka Arms. On kind of an article he read in the newspaper while the building was going up.
Ma'am?
Said there was more people in Southern California who come from Kansas than any other state.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Henderson figured the name Topeka would attract a lot of tenants. It's ridiculous nonsense. Said so at the time. There hasn't been a single solitary one.
Oh.
35 years. Not a soul from Kansas has ever lived here.
4:05 p.m. Frank and I put in a call to the crime lab. While Miss Dunbetter changed her dress, we checked the other apartments to see if anybody else had seen the burglar. Only one tenant was in. Mrs. J.T. Blade, apartment 6, informed us that she'd been out marketing at the time of the crime and had just returned home. 4:16 p.m. Lee Jones and a crew from the crime lab arrived. They began their investigation, and we drove Miss Dunbetter down to the city hall. We checked the oddity file and ran the suspect's description and MO through the stats office, and they came up with 17 possibles. We pulled mug shots and showed them to Miss Dunbetter. She was unable to make an identification. 6:13 p.m. Lee Jones reported no useful fingerprints or other physical evidence in the apartment. 6:46 p.m. We drove Miss Dunbetter home and we went off duty. The next day, May 20th, 11:17 a.m. I'll get it. Burglary Friday. Who's that? Oh, sure. Yeah. When'd he come in? I see. Oh? Well, I wouldn't know. What's he look like? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'd like to. Right. Thanks a lot. That was Chubb Stark.
Who?
You know, Stark, the bartender over at the Yellow Cat.
Oh, yeah. What's he want?
Guy came into his place last night. He was carrying a pretty big roll. He threw it around, bought drinks for the house.
Yeah.
Got kind of loaded and did some talking about how easy he picked up the dough. Just walked in again this morning.
Huh. Sound like anything to you?
Well, Chubb says he's about 6 foot, black hair.
Yeah.
Scar on his forehead. Frank and I drove out to the Yellow Cat bar on Figueroa. Chubb Stark, the bartender, pointed out a husky man sitting in a corner booth. We went over to talk to him.
Keep your hands on the table and stand up.
Huh?
Police officers, on your feet.
Okay.
All right, you can sit down again.
Something to eat, you guys?
What's your name?
Why?
Come on, what is it?
Portlong, Ralph Portlong.
Where do you live?
Hotel around the corner?
How long you been staying there?
Since last night.
How about before that?
Back east, they just got in town yesterday.
Whereabouts back east?
What kind of a roust is this?
Where back east?
All over. Chicago, Cleveland, all over.
What kind of business you in?
Unemployed.
You got any money?
Some.
How much?
Look, I ain't no vag if that's what you're getting.
How much money you got?
$100, maybe 150.
Where'd you get it?
I borrowed it.
Who from?
Pal.
In L.A.?
Chicago.
What's his name?
Johnson, Cliff Johnson.
You got his address?
I don't know. He moves around same as I do.
How you going to pay him back if you don't know where he lives?
We'll bump into each other.
What'd you say you got in town, Portland?
I told you yesterday.
What time?
6 o'clock, somewhere in there.
Yesterday morning?
Last night.
You sure of that?
Yeah.
How'd you come? Train?
Car.
You own the car?
I hitched a ride.
Just where were you yesterday afternoon?
Riding into L.A.
All afternoon.
Yep.
What was the driver's name?
Look, how should I? And I've been hitching for the last week. I must have rode with 20 different guys.
You don't remember the one you were with yesterday?
Nope.
Ever been arrested, Portland?
Nothing serious.
Well, tell us about it.
Oh, drunk, that's all.
Where was that?
Ohio when I was a kid.
Anything else?
Yeah, I got some speeding tickets.
You ever been arrested in California?
Never been in California.
First trip, huh?
Yep. You ain't exactly making me feel at home either.
You know an apartment house called the Topeka Arms?
Whereabouts?
6th and Olympic.
Where's that?
In L.A.
Look, can't you get nothing straight? I ain't never been here before.
Mm-hmm.
How about giving me an answer? Why the roust?
All right, come on, let's go.
What for?
We'll show you the sights.
For instance?
City Hall. Frank and I took the suspect into custody for further questioning. 12:16 p.m. We ran the name Ralph Portlong through R&I. They had nothing on him. We put out an APB with his description stating that he was in our custody. The bulletin requested any information about the suspect and was marked attention Chicago PD and Cleveland Police Department. 2:18 p.m. We again interviewed Portlong. He insisted he had not arrived in Los Angeles until 6 o'clock the previous evening and refused to say anything more. 4:06 p.m. We received replies to our APB on Portlong. Chicago reported 2 convictions for grand theft auto, and Cleveland reported 1 conviction for burglary second degree. We telephoned Miss Dunbetter and arranged for her to attend a special show-up at the main jail. 6:17 p.m. The show-up was completed, and Frank and I took the victim back to our office.
Well, ma'am, you're sure it isn't the same man?
My goodness gracious, I ought to know.
Yes.
Let's see how you could have made such a mistake.
Well, he fits your description, even to the scar.
But I told you it was ziggity-zag.
Yeah, you did.
This man's scar's entirely different.
Yes, ma'am.
His hair's wrong, too.
Is that right?
Other man had some gray in it right across here.
I thought you said he was fairly young.
But he doesn't have to be old to get gray. I've been gray ever since I had my appendix out. I was only 34.
All right. We'll have you taken home now.
It's really a shame.
Ma'am?
You arrested that poor fellow. He hasn't done anything.
Burglary Friday. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. When'd you get it? No, not yet. Will you notify him? Right. Well, I guess we don't need to feel too sorry for Portlong.
What do you mean?
Another answer on her APB.
Yeah?
You're right, Miss Dunbetter. He couldn't have been your burglar.
Well, I told you, didn't I?
He was in Needles yesterday afternoon. He hitched a ride.
Yeah?
Slugged the driver. Ralph Portlong was held pending arrival of authorities from Needles. The investigation of the apartment house burglary continued. 2 more suspects were brought in for questioning. Both men succeeded in establishing alibis for the time of the crime. Monday, May 23rd, 1:48 p.m. Frank and I were on our way back to the office from lunch.
How was your pie?
All right.
Just okay, huh?
I said it was all right.
Lemon meringue, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, Joe. You should have had apple.
Mm-hmm.
I told you, stick with apple. You can't go wrong.
The lemon was good.
You didn't finish it.
I was full.
Yeah. Well, someday you'll learn.
Learn what?
Apple pie is always safe. You can't louse it up. Even a bad cook can.
Well, I get a little tired of it once in a while, that's all.
No reason you should. You can switch it around so many different ways.
Yeah, I know.
Cheese, olive mode, hot sauce. No reason to get tired of apple, Joe.
Sure.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Call for you while you're out.
Oh?
Hey, she wants you to call back. Here's the number.
Thanks.
Sure.
Bessie Maxon.
Who's that?
I don't know. Mrs. Maxon? This is the police department, Sergeant Friday. Yes, that's right. We were the ones. I guess we can. Well, is something wrong? You sure of that? All right, right away. Thank you for calling. Goodbye. Miss Dunbetter's sister, she just got back from Oxnard.
Yeah?
She says it never happened.
What do you mean?
The burglary. Says her sister made it up. Frank and I drove out to the Topeka Arms, and we went up to apartment number 8. It was 217 when we got there.
Somebody's coming again.
Well, what is it?
Ms. Maxon?
That's right, that's right.
Well, my name's Friday. I just spoke to you over the telephone.
No, yes, of course.
This is Frank Smith.
Oh, how do you do?
I do, ma'am.
Come right along inside.
Thank you.
I just don't know what to say. I suppose it's all my fault for going out of town. Should never have left Martha alone. Might have known she'd be up to something.
Are you positively sure about this, Miss Maxon?
About what? About what?
That there wasn't any burglary?
Oh, never in a million years.
Well, your sister gave us all the details.
Play acting, that's all it was. Play acting. She's done it all her life.
Oh, I see.
You mean Miss Dunbetter isn't...
My sister is as sane as you are, if that's what you're driving at.
Well, then why'd she tell us that story, do you know?
Haven't got the vaguest notion. She simply won't give me any explanation.
Oh, I see.
If the story was true, why won't she face me? Why is she hiding?
Hiding?
The minute I told her I was going to call you, she locked herself in the bathroom.
Is that right?
Been in there for 2 hours now. She simply refuses to come out.
Well, we'd like to talk to her if we can.
Yeah, I'll try again. Back to church here may have some influence.
You think we're getting a runaround, Joe?
It sounds that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Martha? Martha, you come out of there this instant. Martha Dunbecker, do you hear me? The policeman wants to talk to you. Now come out. The police are here.
I won't never come out.
I never heard of such childishness. You see, I'm not able to do a thing with her.
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe if you speak to her, she'll come to her senses.
All right.
Sister carrying on like this, I don't know how I'll ever be able to hold my head up again. It's scandalous.
Miss Dunbetter, this is Sergeant Friday. Miss Dunbetter, will you come out so we can talk to you? Miss Dunbetter?
Well, it's about time. Whatever were you thinking of, Martha? What got into you?
No, speaking to you, Bessie.
Let's go into the other room. Be easier to talk there.
Not speaking to me, huh? Well, two can play at that game. And I assure you, I won't be the one who suffers.
All right, ladies, would you like to sit down? Now, Miss Dunbetter, can we clear this thing up now? Your sister says there wasn't any burglary.
How would she know she wasn't here, was she?
I know because I know you. And I know you never had $300 to your name.
I did, too.
Where'd you get it? Where'd you get it?
None of your business.
All right, now, how about it, Miss Dunbetter? Did you have $300? Well?
I said it was exactly 300. Not to the penny.
$3 would be more like it.
There happens to be a few things you don't know about, including my savings.
A likely story. You never saved a penny in your life.
What about my dime
I
bag?
shook it the other day.
I'll thank you to keep your hands off my property.
Savings, indeed. If I didn't pay most of the expenses around here, you'd starve to death.
I managed quite well before you moved in on me, Bessie, and I was perfectly happy living alone. Matter of fact, I preferred that arrangement.
But maybe you'd like to try it again.
Maybe I would. I'm sure it'd be money ahead.
Huh.
Don't you hawk me, Bessie Maxim.
You ought to see the way she eats. Gobble, gobble, gobble. She shovels it down. Stuff and nonsense. I don't have any more appetite than a bird.
Birds don't nip the cooking, Sherry.
Martha done better. How can you say such a thing?
Because I know it's true. I marked the bottle.
Well, whatever I do, I don't fib to the police like some people I could name.
Well, Miss Dunbitter.
I made exaggerated respect. You mean to do no harm?
I wonder if you know it's against the law to file a false police report.
Against the law?
There. You see? You're going to jail. I knew it had happened. I knew that sooner or later you'd disgrace all of us.
Why'd you do it? You must have had a reason, ma'am.
I won't tell you. Not in front of her, I won't.
Let's see. Would you mind waiting in the other room for a couple of minutes, Miss Maxon?
I most certainly would.
We'd appreciate it if you would.
No, very well. Very well. You'd think I was the criminal around here.
All right, Miss Dunbitter, tell us now, will you?
Very difficult to explain.
Well, give it a try, will you?
See, it was all on account of her, Bessie.
Go ahead.
Started when we was little girls. It's because she's older. She's always lording it over me. Mom and Daddy always gave her everything first. Hand-me-downs, that's all I got. Bessie's hand-me-downs.
I see.
And when we grew up, I couldn't push myself very much. She's just the opposite. There of the ball. She had a pick of all the young gentlemen in town. The only time they'd take me out was when Bessie was busy. I think she didn't let me know that I had second choice. The only reason she married Horace because he took a fancy to me. Well, I had my pride, too. Wouldn't settle for her leftovers. That's why I stayed single.
I see.
The least you could have done was name one of her little girls after me. After all, I'm her only sister.
Well, Miss Dunbetter, you still haven't told us why you reported the burglary.
I am telling you.
Yes, ma'am.
On account of her birthday. Well, that was the last straw. She hasn't talked about anything else for months and months. It's because she's 80 years old, you'd think she was the Queen of Romania. A picture in the paper, people making a fuss about her. Well, I made up my mind that for once in my life someone was going to make a fuss about me. To tell you the truth, I'm not a bit sorry I did it. I mean, yes, I should be sorry, but I'm not. I really enjoyed myself. And all those questions you asked me, like I was somebody. My name was in the papers, too. First time it ever happened. It's strange when you come to think about it, to live 79 years without ever seeing your name in print. Oh, but that wasn't the best part.
Ma'am?
The best part was Bessie not being able to horn in and take all the credit. Oh, I knew you'd find me out sooner or later, but I didn't care. I sure had to laugh on her. All the time she's in Oxnard being partied, I was having little parties of my own.
Yeah. Well, you know, you didn't need to put us through all this, Miss Dunbetter. You're almost 80 yourself.
It's over a year away. When you're my age, you can't be sure of anything.
Yes, ma'am.
Besides, even when I'm 80, Bessie will still be ahead.
How's that?
She'll be going on 90.
The story you have just heard is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Due to the advanced age of Miss Martha Dunbetter, and because of her assurances that she would never repeat her actions, no charges were filed against her.
Dragnet is a presentation of the United States Armed Forces.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned a robbery detail. You get a call from an officer in another division. He's come across some information about a robbery. Your job? Check it out.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Wednesday, May 18th. It was hot in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of robbery detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Chief of Detectives Thad Brown. My name's Friday. We were on our way down from the office, and it was 10:47 a.m. when we got to the R&I counter. Coke machine.
I don't see him.
No?
It's quite a gadget, huh, Joe?
What?
A machine here. Real piece of work.
Sure is.
Here you are.
Thank you.
You stop and figure, Joe. All the wires in there, levers. Must be a couple hundred wheels.
Yeah. Johnny say why he wanted to see us?
Mm-mm. Yes, sir. There must be 4 or 5 miles of wire in that thing.
Yeah, at least.
Why do you think he did it, Joe?
What?
Invent the machine.
I don't know. Maybe he just liked to invent things.
No, I don't think that's it.
What's your idea?
Well, a guy'd have to spend a lot of time to build something like this. Maybe a couple of years.
Yeah?
Figure now a person just has to step up, put a coin in, cup drops down, syrup pours in, seltzer, way it's all measured out. Yeah, a guy'd have to spend a lot of time on that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Sure. Got to be a good reason for thinking it up.
What's your idea?
I don't think you could find a bottle opener.
Yeah, sure.
Joe? Frank?
Hi, John.
Oh, hi, Johnny.
Sorry I'm late. I got a call on my way out.
No trouble. What do you got?
Picked up a kid day before yesterday, carrying a can full of grass.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty rough kid when we tagged him. Wouldn't give us the time of day.
How old is he?
17, just under the line.
Uh-huh.
We got to talking to him last night, started to relax. Guess he knew he was in trouble.
Yeah.
One thing led to another, and the kid ended up talking pretty good.
What did he give you?
Rumbled about his brother. Got big plans.
Yeah.
And a knock over a loan company.
Captain Powers, Frank, and I left the city hall, drove over to Georgia Street Juvenile. We had the suspect brought to one of the interview rooms.
All right, sit down, Homer. Homer, this is Sergeant Friday and Officer Smith. They want to talk to you. Joe, Frank, it's Homer Rankin.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Sam.
What do you want?
Well, I told them what you said about your brother, Homer. They'd like to go over it with you.
That's a lousy deal.
What do you mean by that, son?
Stinks, that's what I mean. What I told you wasn't supposed to be broadcast.
I'm just trying to help you out, kid.
Yeah, where's your shovel? Word leaks I turn fink and the services will be real nice. You're all invited.
Look, boy, you're not going to help yourself by acting like this, and you're not going to do your brother any good either.
You tell me all about it, huh?
What are you trying to build, Homer? What do you want?
Leave me alone.
We can't do that, you know it.
Try.
Look, Homer, you're in trouble. Why make it any worse, huh?
You got me for possession, that's all. You ain't gonna make any more out of it.
All right, let's go.
Come on, kid.
Where to now? The basement for the rubber hose, huh?
Going back to your cell.
Good. I didn't sleep good last night. Maybe I can get some sack time.
You better do it while you can.
What's that supposed to mean?
By the time the court gets through with you, you're not going to feel like sleeping, I'm afraid.
What do you do?
Hmm?
Where you work? What's your job around here?
Robbery.
Big guys, huh?
No.
Sure, I heard about you fellas. Big-time operators. Guess I should feel pretty good you come to see me.
How do you figure that?
Well, you don't waste your time on small-time stuff.
Well, you better take another look.
Huh?
We did this morning. We sent back to Captain Powers' office and got the name and address of the subject's brother. 12:10 p.m. We drove back to City Hall and had the name checked through R&I.
Here you are.
Thanks, Helen.
It's a fat package.
Well,
Let's see the arrest report.
it's long.
Mm-hmm. Assault, burglary, 211. He's been busy.
Yeah,
You got a 5-2 there?
here it is.
Who's he list as the next of kin?
White, Paula Rankin, 101st Street address.
Better talk to him.
No,
You think the kid told Powers the truth?
I don't know. Maybe just wanted to sound big.
It's possible.
Brother sure fits, though.
Mm-hmm. Guy's been lucky.
What do you mean?
Well, all the arrests, he's never stood a conviction.
Let's see if we can change that. got a copy of the suspect's mug shot, and we went out to see his wife. She lived in one of the new housing projects on the south side of the city.
Yeah?
Ms. Rankin?
That's right.
Police officers, we'd like to talk to you.
Well, I don't know anything about the marijuana. Kid got it someplace. It's his problem. I got enough of my own.
We'd like to talk to you about your husband.
Tim?
That's right.
Come on in.
Thank you.
Want to sit down?
Thanks. This is my partner, Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
Yeah. Now, what's the beef about Tim?
Is he here?
No.
You know where he is?
No, I don't.
When'd you see him last?
A couple of days ago.
Is he out of town?
I don't know. Couldn't care any less.
Do you have any idea where we can get in touch with him?
Listen, mister, if I knew, you'd have it. I got nothing to save him from. As far as I'm concerned, he can boil.
Is that so?
Yeah. Since the day I met him, I've been carrying the economy size of trouble. Week goes by and he ain't pinched. It's a cause to get arrested for shooting off skyrockets.
No.
Always something. I'm tired of it. And I'm through with him. Never see him again. I ain't going to cry about it.
You got any other relatives in town?
Just the J.D.
Ma'am?
The kid, Homer. It's the only one.
Boy lives here, is that right?
He's got a bed. Don't use it much, like his brother. All the time out trying to get himself hung up. Never seen such a trouble family.
Mm-hmm. Any place your husband might go?
I told you before, if there is, I don't know about it.
Does he have a job?
Tim?
Yes, ma'am.
Honey, if you got paid for goofing, Tim could retire. Only thing wrong is he ain't got nothing to retire from.
He doesn't have a job.
That's the general idea, yeah.
Where's he spend his time?
Ain't around here.
Well, where, do you know?
I don't know. Guess it'd be the hot dog stand. A couple of times when I needed some money, I caught up with him there.
Where's the place?
Down on 114th, a couple of blocks over. You can't miss it. One of those all-night places.
Mm-hmm. Your husband have any close friends?
And what do you mean, close?
Well, people he'd spend time with.
Yeah, a couple of guys fit that.
You know their names?
No.
You ever seen them?
Yeah. One of them was here once. I saw him.
Can you give us a name?
No, I don't remember. Me and Tim had a beef about it. I came home and found him and this bum crocked on beer. Had a beef about it and ended up with both of them leaving.
Can you describe the man for us?
He's a man. Got a head, 2 arms, 2 legs.
That's all you can tell us?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the time.
Don't worry about it. It's free.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to leave you a card. If you hear from your husband, we'd appreciate a call.
Sure. Well, don't hold your breath. Isn't likely he'll come back this time.
All right.
Can you tell me what it's about?
It's a police matter. It'd be better if we talked to him personally.
Can I get you anything? Drink, maybe?
No, thanks.
No, thanks.
Too bad. Sometime when you're in the neighborhood, not working, drop in. I'll pour you a drink.
Yeah, sure.
No, I mean it. Girl gets lonely just sitting by herself. The company'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
You're not married, are you?
No, ma'am.
That's nice. You drop by now. Anytime.
You bet. Thanks again.
Goodbye, Miss Rankin.
Bye.
Hey, Joe.
Just do me a favor, will you?
Well, sure, old buddy. What is it?
Be quiet. We checked with the neighbors, and they verified Ms. Rankin's story about her husband's absence. None of them were able to tell us where he might have gone. Other than saying that the Rankins fought constantly, they were not able to give us any new information. 2:15 p.m. We drove down to the hot dog stand on 114th. There was no one at the counter who looked like the suspect, Tim Rankin.
Yeah, what'll it be?
Cup of coffee?
Okay, how about you?
Number 6, I guess. You make that with cheddar cheese?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have one of those. Glass of milk, too.
Sure. You want your coffee now?
Please.
Hot.
That's good. That's the way we like it.
Oh, not the coffee, the sun.
Oh, yeah.
Paper says it's 91 Pacific Center.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we should be doing more business than we are. Don't understand it, though.
Is that right?
Hey, cold drinks. Hot day people all the time drinking something cold.
Yeah.
No offense.
Well, that's all right.
Malamute, be ready right away.
Huh?
That's what the number 6 is, Malamute.
Oh.
You seen Tim Rankin around this morning?
Yeah, he was in about 10. You guys friends of his?
We'd like to talk to him.
He came in, had a cup of coffee with Shelley. 2 of them left, I guess, about 10:30.
Who was he with, do you know?
Shelley, Shelley Mitchell.
Oh, yeah.
Big buddies all the time together.
You know where they went?
No, I don't know, maybe over Shelley's.
Does he live around here?
Yeah, he's got a pad a couple of blocks over. Hey, your dog ought to be ready.
You know the address of that place?
Mm-mm. I've never been there. Heard the two of them talk about it, though.
This guy Mitchell work?
No, I don't think either one of them do.
Mm-hmm.
Want to leave your names? Guys come back, I'll tell them you're here.
Well, it'd be better if you didn't say anything about it.
Why not?
We're police officers.
Both of you?
That's right.
Sure never guessed it.
Mm-hmm.
Cops. Never would have known. You look just like anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
What are you after Tim and Shelley for? I bet it's a loan company job, huh? Huh? Is that it?
What do you know about it?
Oh, look, mister, I didn't have any part in the action. I just heard them talking.
That's all?
Yeah, gospel. I didn't even think they were serious. If I'd known they meant it, I'd have called the cops myself. I don't want to get mixed up in nothing like that. Not me. I ain't about to put my neck out.
What'd they say about the job?
Oh, just they're going to pull it. All the time I thought they were kidding, talking big. I sure never figured they'd really do it.
What's the name of the company?
Huh?
That place they talked about, what's the name of it?
Timely Loan Company over on Western.
They say when they were going to make it?
I talked about Monday afternoon. I guess they decided not to wait, though, huh?
Yeah. Either one of them drive a car, do you know?
Yeah, Shelley does. I don't think it's his, though.
You ever seen it?
Yeah, a couple times he's had it there.
What kind of a car is it?
Pontiac, 4-door.
Happen to know the license number?
No, sorry, fellas never paid much attention to it.
Either one of them say when they'd be back?
No, it could be any time, though. They come and go.
You know if this Mitchell's ever been arrested?
I can't give you an answer. Never heard him talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when they hit the place?
What?
When they robbed the loan company. I never read nothing about it.
Papers haven't got it yet.
Anybody hurt?
Why do you ask that?
Oh, kind of figures, that's all.
Yeah?
Sure, I know one thing for sure. I wouldn't want to get in Shelley's way. The leg don't slow him down a bit.
What do you mean?
He's got a wooden leg, you know. Here, the right one. Told me once he got wounded in the war.
Is that right?
He still walks with a little limp, like this.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him tangle with a guy once, happened in the alley out in back.
Yeah?
He almost knocked the fella's head right off his shoulders. Real punch.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's why I asked if anybody been hurt. Shelley being like he is.
Yeah.
Of course, I guess he wouldn't hit anybody. Be no need for it.
What do you mean?
Well, he just wouldn't have to, that's all.
Yeah.
Both of them got guns.
Frank and I arranged for a stakeout on the hot dog stand, then we went back to City Hall and ran the name Shelley Mitchell and his description through R&I. We came up with a possible that looked good. The mugshot was pulled and shown to the owner of the hot dog stand. He gave a positive identification. We contacted Army authorities and requested what information they could give us. Yes, sir, huh? When was it? I see. You have those numbers? Right. No, I haven't. All right, Lieutenant, thanks again. Friday. Michigan 5211. Extension 2511. No, it's 25. Right? Okay, many thanks.
How about it, Joe?
Looks good. He was given a dishonorable discharge.
For what?
Theft. Spent a couple of months in the stockade, and then the Army kicked him out.
Yeah.
They'd like to talk to him again, though.
Well, how come?
Well, according to the lieutenant, it seems after he left, they got to checking. He didn't leave alone.
What do you mean?
Took 345 automatics with him. An immediate check was made at the last place listed in Mitchell's package, but he'd moved and left no forwarding address. Additional officers began to canvass the area where he was supposed to be living. Local broadcasts and APVs were gotten out on both suspects, and a stakeout was set up on Tim Rankin's home. That afternoon, we met with Captain Donahoe, and it was decided to put a stakeout on the loan company. 4:50 p.m. Frank and I were leaving the office to make the necessary arrangements.
You got the mugs?
Yeah, we better get on it right away.
Yeah.
Hot shot. We missed it.
Huh?
Timely Loan Company.
Yeah?
Was just held up. Frank and I left the office and drove out to the Timely Loan Company on Western Avenue. By the time we got there, a radio card answered the call, and the officers were checking the neighborhood. A broadcast had already been gotten out carrying their description. Frank and I talked with the manager, a Mr. Richard Conover.
Is there anything we can do for you, sir?
No.
Wonder if you take a look at some pictures and see if you can recognize the holdup man.
I have to?
Well, it'll help us.
All right.
Here they are, sir.
No, they're not here.
You sure?
I looked at them. You haven't got a picture.
Would you mind going through them again?
I'll be honest with you. I'd like to see you get the 2 men, but the money's insured. I'm not going to put my family on the block for it.
I don't think I understand.
It's just that I believe them, that's all.
What do you mean?
On the way out, they told me. Said if I helped the police, they'd find out and make me sorry for it.
Yeah.
Said they'd get my family.
We went over the description Conover had given the uniformed men. It could have fit almost anyone. The crime lab came out and went over the offices of the loan company. They found nothing that would aid us. The people in the immediate vicinity were interviewed. None of them were able to give us a good description of the suspects. The victim, Richard Conover, was taken to the city hall where Frank and I talked to him for over an hour. 8:14 p.m.
Now, Mr. Conover, we need your help. If we don't have it, our job's going to be 5 times as hard.
I've told you I'm not going to put my family in jeopardy.
Well, now, look, we'll put a policeman in your house. He'll be there 24 hours a day until we come up with the thieves.
There'll be an officer with your children. Nobody's going to get near him.
That's ridiculous.
What do you mean?
I'm not going to subject them to that kind of supervision.
Well, then maybe you better take another look, Mr. Conover. There are 2 men in this city who've held you up. They've made threats on your life. Now, we don't blame you for being concerned, but this isn't going to help. Unless you go along with us, our hands are tied. There isn't anything we can do. Now, you've got no reason to believe that these men aren't going to try to get at you, even if you don't talk. You're the only one who can identify them. Pretty soon they're going to think about that, and then we won't be able to stop them. You and your family are in trouble now, whether you talk to us or not.
All right, I'll tell you.
The suspects were positively identified as Timothy Rankin and Shelley Mitchell. Additional bulletins were gotten out on the 2 men, and the search for them was intensified. Officers were dispatched to Conover's home in the event that the 2 thieves tried to make good their threat. Rankin's brother was re-questioned at Georgia Street Juvenile, but either he couldn't or else he wouldn't aid us in apprehending the suspect. 11:30 that night, Frank and I were ready to leave the office.
You sign the log, Joe?
Yeah, let's go. I got it. Robbery Friday. Hello? Robbery Friday. Oh, yeah, Benson. Wait a minute. Give me that again, will you? Be right out. Benson and Stromwell.
Yeah?
They found the suspects. In canvassing the area around the hot dog stand, officers Benson, Stromwell, and Herman had checked a hotel. When the clerk was shown pictures of the suspects, he said the 2 men who looked like the pictures were staying in the place. However, when the rooms were checked at the suggestion of the manager, Rankin and Mitchell were not there. They staked out the room and we were called. When Frank and I arrived, we took up our positions in the room while the other officers covered the entrances to the hotel. 4:15 a.m. We waited.
What time you got?
Wait a minute. Kind of hard to see without a light. 4:30.
Well, the hats did a good job.
Yeah, like finding a needle.
Mm-hmm. You heard how Herman's coming with the books?
I was talking to him the other day. Said he doesn't think he's ever going to make a lawyer.
I guess it's rough with the hours he's got.
Yeah, it works out, though.
What do you mean?
He told me that when he and Stromwell got a stakeout together, they'd ask each other questions, try to study that way.
Yeah, that's a hard way to do it.
Right.
Hmm? Yeah.
All right, Mr. Holder, right there.
I'm doing like you say. I'm not going to cause no trouble.
Turn around, face the wall.
Yes, sir, just like
Come
you
on,
say.
move.
Hands up on the wall.
Yes, sir. I'm doing it just like you said. I'm not rough.
Here you are, Joe.
Where'd you get this gun, Rankin?
Shelley gave it to me. That's the truth, honest, mister. I got it from Shelley.
All right, put your hands behind you.
Yes, sir, right behind me.
All right, you can turn around now.
Don't shoot, mister. Huh? Please don't shoot.
Turn around.
Yes, sir.
Where's Mitchell?
I don't know.
Oh, come off it. Now, where is he?
Well, I don't know, mister. That's the truth. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Well, look, if I did, I'd tell you. Honest, I would.
When'd you see him last?
A couple hours ago.
Where?
A coffee place on Vermont, sir.
Is he still there?
I don't know.
What was he doing?
He was talking to another fella.
Who?
A guy named Randolph Bennett, sir. I'm not sure that's his real name, though.
Is he coming back?
No, sir. He doesn't live here.
Clerk says he does.
Well, who are you talking about?
Mitchell.
Oh, I meant Bennett. He doesn't live here. Mitchell does, but Bennett doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Now, how about an answer?
Well, I'm sorry, sir. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mitchell, is he coming back?
Well, I don't think so.
Why do you say that?
Well, we had a fight. I don't think he'll be back, sir.
What'd you fight about?
Well, it's something he wanted me to do. I didn't want any part of it.
What was it?
Well, he said if I didn't go along with him and Bennett, they'd kill me, and I didn't like the deal.
What deal?
Well, him and Bennett, they got a caper planned. I was supposed to go with them, but I didn't want to, sir. Honest, that's the truth. I really didn't want to.
Yeah.
You see, I was supposed to steal a car for him to use, and The more I thought about it, I didn't want to get in any more trouble than I am now.
The two of you hit the loan company this afternoon?
Yeah, that's right, sir.
This fella Bennett, he was with you?
No, sir. We met him tonight. Him and Shelley planned this other deal. They wanted me to go with them, but I didn't want to. Honest, that's the God's truth, sir. I didn't want to. That's why we had this fight.
Well, what's the deal?
Well, they figured to start out about 9 in the morning. Shelley's got it all figured. They say they can hit about 8 places, and the two of them are going to leave town.
What are you talking about?
Well, this deal, they're going to rob some loan companies.
What about this fella Bennett? You know him?
No, sir. He's a friend of Shelley's. They've known each other, though, for a long time.
Where's he from?
Oh, back east someplace. I'm not sure where. I just know the cops are after him, though.
Why?
Well, he broke out of jail while he was waiting to be tried.
What was the charge?
Kidnapping and murder.
We left the hotel room and picked up the other officers. We had Tim Rankin point out the coffee stand where he'd last seen Shelley Mitchell, and then we called a radio car and turned Rankin over to the uniformed men. While Benson, Stromwell, and Herman covered the rear entrances of the place, Frank and I went in the front door.
There they are, Joe. Halfway down.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, I should have known you guys always talk big when it comes to doing something back down.
A lot of fun kids around.
We don't have to take... Yeah? You guys got a license to listen?
Shelley Mitchell? Come on, get up.
You okay, Joe?
Yeah. What about Bennett?
He's all right.
Lousy cops. Lousy, rotten cops.
Turn around.
Give me your cuffs, will you, Joe?
Here.
Come on, turn around. I'll take care of Bennett.
All right, Mitchell, turn around.
All a stick of deals.
All right, come on, move.
How'd you get to me?
Don't you worry about that.
Rottenest, lousiest deal I ever heard of.
Where'd you get this gun?
I bought it.
From the government, huh?
Well, that's none of your business.
All right, we'll go your way.
Lousy 12 hours. 12 more hours you'd have missed us. This afternoon we'd have been on the way. You'd have never found us.
Yeah, you really believe that, don't you?
Oh, sure. We'd have gotten a start, you'd have been dead. Looking all around, never found us.
Yeah, just like now.
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On September 16th, trial was held in Department 92, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Homer Norman Rankin was referred to juvenile court and, after a hearing, was made a ward of the state. Timothy Alfred Rankin and Shelley Vincent Mitchell were tried and convicted of robbery in the first degree, 1 count. They received sentence as prescribed by law. Robbery in the first degree is punishable by imprisonment in the state penitentiary for a period of not less than 5 years. Randolph Bennett, alias James Virgil Nicholson, was held for New Jersey authorities to answer charges of murder, kidnapping, and escape. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department.